This is SPTV.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Serge Domar, and we are going to be asking ourselves, like every day, what is Scientology so afraid of? We're going to continue contextualizing everything that the corporate media has been keeping to themselves about, you guys. Or conversely, what the corporate media has been too negligent to ask, be curious about, or care about. So let's together bypass this corporate media. And here we go again with ABC News, you guys. We can't keep running into ABC News segments done either with Scientology celebrities, like we're going to see here, John Travolta. And as we know, all the other things that we've been covering and reacting to. So this is another video of Scientologist John Travolta. Let's see what he has to say for himself this time. Let's check it out.
Some headlines. It's garnering quite a bit of press, and it's taking on your religion, the Church of Scientology. Why do you think there is so much intrigue, so much interest in your religion?
Mostly because it's not understood. You know, people really need to take time and read a book.
All right, you guys. So here we go, reacting to this man already getting extremely uncomfortable as he's being asked about it. And this man who continues to insist that all we got to do for ourselves is read a book. So let's follow John's advice and read ourselves a book.
You know, that's my advice. You could read New Slant on Life. You could read Dianetics. And
oh, interesting. So here we have John Travolta, you guys, literally pitching that we read Dianetics. So for any of you who haven't seen my previous reaction video to this man, let's just give everyone a very, very quick refresher on Dianetics and what it says. The first axiom is of interest to the auditor in this work because with it, he can clearly establish whether or not he's confronting a rational reaction. Confronting a rational reaction. Just really keep that in mind, you guys, for this next line. The 7-year-old girl who shudders because a man kisses her is not computing. She is reacting to an engram since at 7, she should be seeing nothing wrong with a kiss, not even a passionate one. There must have been an earlier experience, possibly prenatal, which made men or kissing very bad. So interesting that John Travolta, without a shred of shame, you guys, starts literally pitching the book that these people read to pretend that, you know, any old kid is just an adult in a small body, and that any old child, girl, shouldn't shudder if she's being kissed passionately. And do you see how Hubbard just pitched this idea that it must be a prenatal thing that's wrong with that girl if she's refusing a passionate kiss from a grown man? So that would be very, very interesting for you, John Travolta, to let us know what in the hell you're doing, telling us that people just must be so confused, because if they would only pick up a book and read about this paragraph that talks about normalizing adult grown men kissing little girls, well, you know, I think that we have heard enough to understand that anyone who's pitching that in their first book probably doesn't have any big, great ideas worth listening to after that. Let's see what else he says, you guys.
I think if you really read it, you'll understand it. But unless
Oh, if you really read it, you will understand it, you guys. Did we just not read that paragraph? Did we not just really understand what that paragraph stated?
you do, you'll speculate. And I think that's a mistake to do that.
Oh, he thinks it's a mistake that we're speculating, even though we just read the book and it literally said what it said. So I don't think that people need to speculate a lot, John, since we are literally picking the book you told us to pick up, right? You said Dianetics. That's what it states in Dianetics. And I mean, that is just one of the many, many paragraphs, you guys. I mean, this book goes into disgusting misinformation about abortions and mothers, and just a whole myriad of dysfunction is what this book pitches. But apparently there are no critical thinking skills when you read this disgusting rhetoric, because that's part of the contract that L. Ron Hubbard made with every last consenting adult that was all about his technology, you guys. So before you go, oh, but this and that, no. L. Ron Hubbard says you cannot criticize him, otherwise you are the stupid one, and you're the one that needs to go clear a misunderstood word, is what they'll tell you. So let's see what else he pitches this man.
Why do you think it's become such a target, though, for critics?
Sometimes when something really works well, it becomes a target. It's, 40 years for me, I've been.
Sometimes when something really works well, you guys, I mean, literally, this man can answer something that is truthful, and he cannot stop pitching lies. When something is good, why is it going to be misunderstood? If something is really workable and doing great for everyone, why would it be misunderstood? That would be a very, very good question for John Travolta to really start explaining himself.
Part, and I've loved every minute of it. My family has done so well with it, and it's a beautiful thing for me, and I've saved lives with it. And
it's a beautiful thing for him, and he has saved lives with it. I mean, you guys, again, it's painful to watch this grown adult man talk about saving a life. I mean, it's nice of you, John Travolta, to come here and pitch the entire United States that you have saved a life. We would love to hear which life that was that you saved, because we'll tell you how many lives you haven't saved. All the children that are in those hotels under billion-year contracts. Let's start with those lives that you're not really giving a single shred of an F about. You could really explain and expand on the lives you haven't saved. And just because you say it's a beautiful thing for me and smile, don't think that we're buying your pitch, because we can really read straight through your fakeness.
saved my own life several times.
Oh, and it even saved his life, you guys. I mean, imagine this rhetoric we just read saved this man's life. I mean, what was there to save? Were you into passionately kissing young 7-year-olds, and then you read this from the book, and then you're just like, oh, wish, I'm just, my life has been saved. I now understand from this book that if the kid reacts to me kissing them passionately, then it's just on them to source their prenatal dysfunction, because that makes a lot of sense. I mean, even if you try to do whatever mental gymnastics you guys can do, there is no rhyme or reason for this literal abomination that he's pitching in that book, the first one that he told us to read.
Through my loss of my son, it helped me every step of the way for 2 years solid. And here I am.
So let's just expand on that, you guys. Through the loss of his son, it helped him solid. So what that means, just so that everybody understands, see, when John lost his son, there was a huge controversy surrounding him and the type of medical treatment or lack thereof that his special needs son had, and the amount of intervention from people that completed a 2-week course in a hotel to pitch ideas about what should be done with his son. Imagine having a special needs child, you guys, and you are running and paying for the advice of people that completed a 2-week course in a hotel from a indicted in absentia felon that was on the run. I'm sure that really helped a lot, John. And, you know, for those 2 years, he had literal babysitters that were assigned to him to cuddle and canoodle him over the death of his son that, you know, he probably didn't take any accountability on the gross, horrific decisions he made as a father. And since you, John Travolta, would know just how close and what a front row seat I had at knowing internal details of what happened, given my own familial connections, and we'll leave it at just that, because I really don't want to talk about any more details of your son other than to highlight and underline how you are being so dishonest with yourself about what in the hell is that this thing is purportedly helping you with, and why you're so pressed to tell people to go read books and find out for themselves. And, you know, if it's so workable, because look at me, I have a plane, because look at me, I have millions in the bank, because look at me, I land my own planes in my private airport at Ocala. So think a lot better next time you are out there giving press interviews, because this is actually pretty disgusting.
I am talking to you
Here
because
you
of it.
are. And you're a busy man. You have a lot on your plate. I
It's
understand
true.
you've got a big O.J. Simpson movie coming up.
Yeah, I'm playing Shapiro in that, his lawyer.
Just a small role.
Yeah. And we did some tests the other day, and it was.
Well, shout out to you, John Travolta, for your Shapiro role. You know, you wouldn't have any firsthand knowledge of corrupt attorneys to base your character on, would you? Any of those corrupt attorneys that have propped up your little hotel thing, did any of them give you any acting tips by chance?
Quite pleased with how I looked as the character. It looked quite a bit like him.
Wow.
Isn't that great, you guys? He looked just like him. Wow. Like, that's just so great, John.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Well, that is certainly a teaser. We cannot wait to see you in that. And of course, in The Forger, we want to remind our viewers, it hits theaters and on demand this Friday. John Travolta, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. There is another film.
All right, guys, and that was the end of that segment. And shout out to ABC News, who cannot stop putting their own foot in their mouth, who cannot stop utilizing these clickbait, self-promotional access to celebrities. And yet again, they're only interested in the gossip, right? Oh yeah, isn't your religion just so, you know, controversial? Isn't that film that is out there? Why do you think? I mean, does the media really want to ask questions, you guys, or do they just want to act out like they're asking something just so they can play the part? Like, oh no, look at us, ABC News, where we ask the tough questions. We ask the tough questions and you follow up with nothing. So any old lie, any old discrepancy can just be like, oh, we're done. 4 minutes. Close the segment. Let's get our ad revenue. So there you go. Another little piece of gold and diamonds of this man who literally cannot help himself but pitch a horrific thing that he has not even a shred of shame to say that his own kids got involved. And once again, making the case and the point. We just saw Aaron discussing with that other kid that came out in this channel with the debate about Scientology and this and that and da da da. And can you say it like this? And can you say it like that? I mean, the debate was so whatever, because we cannot stress enough that we are not here to make a case for adults that are in the business of making bad decisions for themselves. Especially because a lot of these adults, you guys, they are winning and doing amazing in Scientology as long as things go their way. And what that means is, as long as they're being pampered, like here, a la John Travolta, like you have the death of your son and you have all of these handlers running around catering to your every emotional need, quote unquote. Never mind that the emotional need and the support is coming at a price that is so high. And that's why you see this man here looking more like a prisoner of war, bumbling all over himself because he is a prisoner of his own stupidity. And unfortunately, when you are a prisoner of your own stupidity, you guys, you can't see your eyes you can't see your eyes from your you know what. That is all we're going to do with this segment. We will continue to expose and call out every last enabler, every last consenting adult that wants to pitch L. Ron Hubbard while promoting their own work. So please, if you haven't subscribed, do so. Please like and comment. And if you have any questions, anything that is not making sense, please leave those questions in the comments. I appreciate all questions. The only way we're going to get to change anything is if people are actually informed on the facts. And since ABC News is doing the most abysmal job in presenting any sort of facts, well, the kids that were actually inside the hotel are going to be coming with that for you guys. Thank you very much, and I will see you very, very soon.